All right, Ghosts and Ghouls. So today on the Decrypt, we are joined by Francesco. How are you doing, man? And for those who don't know exactly who you are, give us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Oh gosh. Well, my name is Francesco. I'm a
Oh,
filmmaker.
sorry, I said your name totally wrong. Francesco.
That's what everybody said. Literally everybody says Francisco. It's fine. I'm used to it.
For sure. But
But
yeah, just
yeah,
give us a small introduction about who you are.
I'm a filmmaker. I'm from Staten Island, New York. I have been a horror movie addict my whole entire life. I feel like a lot of people say this, but I saw Halloween and I was like, oh, okay, I want to do this for the rest of my life. So there's that. I am Clown Cafe Kid number 4 in Terrifier 2, and I am currently working on my own retro 80s type slasher film, PrettyFace. It's something that I've been working on for a really long time. I'm 27 now, and I started PrettyFace when I was about 19. And it's not like I was like, I'm gonna make a feature at 19 and now I'm at 27. It really was the sort of thing where it was just this creative thing that I think I got this idea. I don't even know. I think I just wanted to make a movie, and I saw this cool mask in a Halloween store, and I based a very, very short film off the idea of the mask. And then one person gave me some input, and then another person, and a short video turned into a feature, and then one thing led to the other, and it's kind of just led to this. So I'm very happy to be here with all of that.
Nice. So, I mean, I definitely want to just go ahead and jump right into Pretty Face. I mean, so you said that you're, 27. So am I. Cool, cool, cool. So, but you started this when you were 19 years old. Like, so what put you in that headspace to want to create your own, slasher film?
Oh God, loving them so much. I was let's see, I was 11 years old. I mean, I have loved horror movies my whole life, right? So I was always that horror kid. I was always the freakazoid, like in my class when I was younger. Like everybody wanted like a GI Joe or like a Superman, and I wanted a Chucky. I was like, mommy, I want the Chucky doll from Spencer's. And I never really stopped being that weird kid. I just grew a few feet and grew a beard, honestly. um I was 11 years old when I saw Halloween, but I was like, I think maybe 4 when I started watching like the G-rated or the PG-rated, kid-friendly Universal monster classics like, Dracula and The Mummy and all that stuff. I was that 4-year-old kid that was riding around my neighborhood on my bike with the Dracula cape in like the middle of August. Um, and so I think when I was like 9, I discovered slashers. I saw Child's Play 2 at my grandma's house. I caught like the tail end of it in the factory. And my grandma was like, what is this horrible movie? I was like, I don't know, but I love it. So just really enjoyed it. And I just started watching more, like slasher type movies. And when I was 11 years old, this kid in my band class, Rob, told me about Halloween, and he told me what it was about. And I was like, that sounds really cool. I'm going to watch it. So I went to Blockbuster with my mom, and the DVD was actually on sale. I remember it like it was yesterday. We bought the DVD. I went home and I watched Halloween, and I was just like so entranced and in love with this movie. I just think it's, before even being a slasher film, it's just so beautifully shot, and it does the thing of creating atmosphere, which I think is really important in a film. I think if you can make a movie that can invoke like atmosphere or like a feeling, like if you can show a film to a full grown adult, and through the feeling it creates, take them back to when they were like a kid on Halloween, you know what you're doing, and I
Mm.
just love Halloween for that reason. And the DVD came with like the special features documentary, so I watched it, and I watched like the making of it, and how cheap it was made for, and how well it did, and just how it's really brought horror fans together across the world. And I was like, wow, I think I want to do this. So I like maybe a week later, I had 2 of my friends over, and I took my parents' VHS camera from like the 90s and a 3-minute remake of Halloween. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And I don't think I put the camera down since then. Um, so, I mean, you get your family video camera, and you make really crappy movies with your friends over the years, and they just get a little bit less crappy as time goes on. And then before you know it, they're not so crappy. So
For
that's
sure. So I mean, so you've always, since a young age, always had an interest not only in just horror, but just the whole movie aspect, like cinematography and just creating,
Oh,
creating the movie. So with
absolutely.
Pretty Fa- like, where is this gonna take the audience? Like, where is it gonna be set at? Like, where is it? What is it gonna make us feel?
So Pretty Face is, and again, it's gone through. I don't want to say phases, but like, so Pretty Face started because I saw this creepy mask in a Halloween store when I was like, I don't know, I was 19. And it was a Spirit Halloween in the mall. And I was like, ooh, that looks like the mask from Alice Sweet Alice. One of my favorite underrated slasher movies is Alice Sweet Alice. It's so creepy. And it has a somewhat similar mask, but it's more plasticky and transparent. And I saw a mask that was kind of similar to that in Spirit Halloween. And I said, I'm going to buy this. So I bought the mask and I was like, you know what? I haven't filmed anything in a while. I called my friends. I was like, you guys want to make a scary movie? And they were like, yeah. So we just filmed this like 6 minute long movie and I just called it Pretty Face. And I thought it would be really cool to have something that was like, I guess marketable, you could say. Like
Mhm.
Jason is a household name, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Chucky, Ghostface, like household names. So I was like, wouldn't it be cool if we could have Pretty Face, like the movie named after the killer? Like, what are you? I'm Pretty Face for Halloween. Like, I thought that would be cool. And I wanted to kind of start something where people could kind of fall in love with a character. And so we made this 6 minute movie. And then I think maybe a year later, I was still in college and I said, you know what? I want to make this a feature film. So I went to Best Buy and I spent $300 on a crappy camcorder that you film your kids on vacation with. And I asked my friends who wanted to, do the whole thing. And we over and I took breaks in between and I was in school. So I want to say over the course of like the next 3 years, we filmed the entirety of the feature length Pretty Face. I call it the college cut. It's by no means, I mean, the production value is it's college kid level. It's not anything that I would like send to anyone or anything like that, but I'm proud of it for what it was, and I showed it to enough people and enough people were like, wow, this is actually like, yeah, you can tell you did it on like a $300 camcorder and whatnot, but the story is really there, and the lighting and the editing and the way that you see things, like you can tell there was some real passion here. If you have like maybe a little bit of a budget and some professionalism involved in this and you ups the production value, you really got something here. And enough people said this to the point where I was like, all right, fuck it, let's do it again. So we decided I want to do Pretty Face again as a short film and see where it could take off from there. And like I've seen enough things, Terrifier to be exact, Art started off in a short film and then that short film became a part of a feature film with a bunch of little short films in it, All Hallows Eve. And
Oh,
then enough people took interest in Art the Clown from there and they were able to, make a feature film. And then that spawned a smash hit sequel with a really attractive cast. And like it's really inspiring to see how little things lead to bigger things. So I said, let's make Pretty Face a short film so we can focus, instead of focusing this much of our energy onto a film that's this long, we could focus this much of our energy and stuff onto a film that's this long, and
mhm.
we can production value and just make it as good as we possibly can. So um I said, what, maybe 6 months ago, I was like, let's start an Indiegogo for this. Like, let's really, really see how many people are interested and would support it. Because the worst people could say is, no, we're doing it anyway. We're just going to be able to do it that much better with, support and a little bit of a budget. And we started the Indiegogo. What was it, like a month and a half ago now? And I mean, the support that we've gotten is just really, really touching and really amazing. And to know that many people want to see my film and my art and we're just like, well, we love you and we think you have talent and we want to see what you have to put out there. Like, that's really touching.
Oh yeah,
um,
for sure. I meant, like, even talking about your Indiegogo, I didn't know you, because I remember Britt had told me about that you were doing a movie. So I was like, oh, okay,
yeah.
cool. I want to talk to you and see, um, what this movie is about. And so she had
Yeah.
mentioned you guys were starting
Oh
like
yeah,
the,
you gotta ask what it was about. We'll get to that too.
yeah, for sure. So and she had put me onto you and your film, and I'm like,
Britt is
okay.
people that I've ever had the privilege of becoming friends with. I will say that until the day I die. Angel on earth.
For sure. I deeply like love all those girls. They're phenomenal people. But yeah, man, and you've already hit over 100% of your goal, right? For your indie campaign.
Yeah.
So I'm
blown away and just grateful. And I actually met Britt because of Terrifier 2, right? I met a lot of my, like all of these people are really good friends now. I mean, the Terrifier 2 fam is my fam. I always will say that. And Terrifier 2 is genuinely, is that a Michael Myers thermos you have there?
Oh, it's my bad. It's like everybody.
So cool. I have one like that. It's like Halloween Kills, but it's the same idea. It's cool. That's awesome. Sorry, I just noticed that. I was like, oh, cool. So I met Britt through Terrifier 2. It's really funny. I met one of the Levies who, is with Fuzz on the Lens, the ADs and producers and like everything of Terrifier 2. I met him in a restaurant one night, and I had seen one of his fan films on YouTube and recognized him. And I was like, oh, like you're involved in like film, right? And this was years ago before I even knew about Terrifier, I think even one really. And he was like, yeah, have you heard of Terrifier? And I'm like, that movie with the black and white clown, I haven't really watched it, but I've heard it's good. He was like, go home and watch it. I get killed in it. So with that, I was like, oh my God, hell yeah. So I went home and I watched it and I fell in love. I mean, obviously we're here, right? and I was like, dude, that was awesome. I'd love to come and help out on set. If you guys are doing a second one, please let me know, keep me in the loop. And literally like 2 years later, it was like 2020, and he was like, yeah, we're on set and we could definitely, we'd love to have some PAs on set to come help out. And I was like, hell yeah. I literally shot down and I was on set with them for like a week when they were filming like the haunted house scenes. And a week in, he's like, so we're doing this scene and we need to kill some people. And I was like, all right, sign me up. That's it. It's yes. I don't even care about the details. I'm there. Just let me know where and when. And we went upstate for like, I think it was 9 days we all stayed together, the cast, crew, and everybody, while filming the Clown Cafe scene. And again, like best 9 days of my life. I will take that to the grave, that like that is the happiest I'll ever have been in my whole entire life. And so I met Britt there. I think she got there like the end of the first night we were there, and we just started talking about like movies. And I think at the same time I was like, what's your favorite sequel? And we both said Halloween 2 at the same time. And I was like, oh, this girl's for life. She was just so cool and so sweet and just like one of the just nicest, most like, open to, hearing what I had to say about my, creative visions and stuff. Like she was one of the coolest people I've ever met. And so we've just really stayed in touch and become good friends throughout. Excuse me. And, so I had been talking about PrettyFace forever, and I said to Britt, I was like, so I think I want to do an Indiegogo for PrettyFace. I think we could really, get some support and make it that much better. And she was like, oh my God, let me design it for you. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, yes, okay. And so the reason why the PrettyFace Indiegogo is absolutely beautiful and stellar is I owe it all to Britt Godish, honestly. That's something I always say. The reason that PrettyFace is happening the way that it is so largely in part due to Britt and my other producer, Jess Dubois. They've been so amazing throughout this whole journey. I mean, I have a whole crew of people that have really just, come through to say, hey, let's do this, like no questions. Let's just do this and let's make it as good as we can. So, yeah, there's that. And as far as what PrettyFace is about, so I wanted to make a movie. And by the way, I've been rambling. So is there any question or comment that you wanted to get in before I go on about this for the next 30 minutes?
You're good. You're good. No, you keep going. You keep going.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure. I don't want to be rude. I tend to ramble when I'm talking about stuff. I love to ramble.
No, you're fine. It's an open floor. You go ahead.
But so thank you. So, like I said, I started with this little short film that I did when I was 19, and people just kept giving me ideas, and it just eventually turned into a script, and the short turned into a feature, and then the feature turned back into a short. I love all horror, but I really love slasher films. I feel like the slasher genre, slasher community has such a big following, and it's so ironic and so funny. Like these films about, people getting cut up by a psychopath in a mask are somehow the ones that bring people together the most. I mean, all of the Terrifier friends I've made, all the Pretty Face friends, all the Halloween fans that I'm, really close friends with. It's really crazy. And um you know, films like Halloween and The Burning and Prom Night and Slumber Party Massacre, like all of these low budget Sleepaway Camp, all these low budget 80s type slasher films really just, I feel like they invoke this feeling, like this atmosphere, this like laid back California high school, like going out with your friends, and like this weird nostalgia. I feel like they make you feel, and I just love that feeling. And I have for the longest time wanted to recreate that nostalgic feeling that you get from seeing a suburban slasher. So Pretty Face is basically a suburban slasher. He's similar enough to, other things that you've seen where I feel like slasher fans are going to be like, this is a familiar feeling. I like this. But I also think he's different enough so that people aren't going to be like, oh my God, I've seen this 100 times. Because I mean, I've seen movies that are like straight up actual exact ripoffs of like Halloween, and I'm like, okay. I mean, you could have paid tribute to something you love without directly ripping it off, like, and if you pay attention when Pretty Face comes out, like, I mean, there are little Easter eggs to films that I love everywhere. Halloween, the Jason movies, Terrifier, of course, and I think that's important as an artist. Like I believe in paying tribute or homage to your favorite films, but also like kind of staying in your own lane. So Pretty Face is something basically that, if you like slasher films and you like those retro type slasher films, then you're definitely going to like Pretty Face. I wanted it to be something where you could watch it and feel like you were going to like the drive-through in 1984, you know?
Mm.
I think that's something that people are really going to like. He's his own thing, Pretty Face. He's definitely he's familiar, but he's different.
So, and I think, with kind of, what you're saying is that like you add to that nostalgia that, a lot of people, look, there we go, there we go. Like you add to that nostalgia, and then you keep it original with your own, innovative ideas and creativity. So, I mean, what are you hoping that comes from, this is your first feature film that you're gonna, release to the public.
This is a short.
Oh, it's just the short. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought it was gonna
No,
be the feature. However, so like, what are you hoping comes from just the short? Speaking of that, you raised over like 10,000, so that's pretty good for a short.
yeah, no, I'm really stoked about that. When I tell you the way that people have come through and shown their support, I could not be more thrilled. And it's really funny that you just said that, because what do I hope? Well, I hope a feature comes out of the short.
Go.
That's definitely one of the things that, I said I want to do this short as good as we can. I want to get enough of a following from it. I want to get enough people to love it and believe in it that we can say, hey, we're going to do a feature now because we're able to. And something that I've learned recently is to stop saying if and start saying when. So when that happens, I cannot wait. I mean, I already know the short is going to be, I mean, we did our first weekend shooting this past weekend. It went absolutely amazing. Stellar cast and crew. Everybody just came through. And I mean, there was not one person at this shoot that didn't belong there. There was not one person that gave any less than 110%. Everybody was there all of the time, all the way, 100% ready, and just so much talent in one setting. And it was really, really nice. And I've seen like just some of the raw footage where I'm like, holy shit, it's going to be really good. I really think people are going to love it. I think in terms of, I think it's really nice when I see something that pulls no punches, and it's like, well, this is what I thought I was getting into, so here we are. And like Terrifier 2 pulls, and the first one, both Terrifier films, they pull no punches. If you're a slasher fan that likes gore and you know, retro vibes and all that stuff and things that don't hold back. Terrifier is literally like, hey, here you go. Like there's no smoke and mirrors about it. You know, it's just you're here for what you're here for, and that's what you're gonna get. And that's something that I think we're definitely succeeding in pulling off with Pretty Face, is giving retro slasher fans what they want. And I kind of want to give people enough in the short film to be able to kind of make the decision as to whether or not they want to support a feature, if that makes sense, you know, because I believe in giving people a taste. And I think people are really going to like it. I think enough people are going to like it and see it. And I think it's going to do well enough that we are going to be able to do a feature and do it well, 100%. And the short is kind of going to be like, you know, well, if you liked this X amount of minutes, you're going to love this feature length, you know, film. So that's kind of where we're at with that.
And when can us horror fans or us slasher fans anticipate this short being released?
Let's see. Well, the short is going to be, I mean, and again, it's movie making. So I always say, like, whenever you say what can we expect in regards to anything film, that's always a funny question, because the real answer is who the fuck knows. Because like if you watch like Terrifier 2, with the, you know, with everyone was like, when's Terrifier 2 coming out? To the point where like it became a joke on like the fan pages, you know, like Damien would post a link in like, or whatever, in one of the in the Atkiss pages, and I would comment, and like he knows me, and I would comment, hey, when's Terrifier 2 coming out? And he would just be like, really? Like, so I don't know when exactly. I want to say, and I don't want to say something and then it doesn't happen, because as a fan, like I don't want to do that to people. But I want to say we want to have it ready for Halloween season.
Okay.
Naturally, right? We're gonna be wrapping by the end of July, if all goes according to plan. We had an amazing first shoot. Hopefully we keep that energy, which I'm sure we will. And I want to say we're going to be, you know, we're not just going to release it to the public. Like it's not going on YouTube right just yet. It's going to be like, we're going to be submitting it to, you know, festivals and sending it out to people. And, you know, and obviously, like if anybody who supported us really is going to get to see it, of course.
Mhm.
We might look into like streaming services, but we're definitely going to go the festival route and you know, just send it to people and see what people have to say and see how well it does. But in terms of like when am I going to hopefully have the Pretty Face film file like ready to go, I would say like Halloween season, late September, early October for sure.
Okay, for sure, for sure. I mean, we can definitely, you know, form some excitement about it, man. So, like, what's been like some of the toughest challenges that you had, you know, making this short?
Oh gosh. I mean, let's see, we got 1 weekend under our belt and we have about 3 or so weekends left. I have to say, thus far, it really hasn't been, it's been a great shoot. I mean, we've had a couple, I think, like minor technical difficulties, you know, like some sound stuff, like, but again, minor and fixable in the same day. And just really making sure like everyone is good to go. And you know, like it's so many moving parts, you know, so much goes into it, you know, like so many things go into making a film. And it's like, if one of those little tiny things, like if the shoelaces on a piece of wardrobe are off from like the last scene, we all have to wait until they get replaced, because then it won't make sense, you know, like it'll be a continuity error, not, you know, like just for example, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would say one of the biggest challenges has been making sure that everything is ready to go and all of the moving parts of the machine are ready to push it forward. And um miraculously, at the end of the day, we really haven't had too many issues, and it's been amazing. Especially, and everybody has been literally killing themselves for this short. Like everyone has been doing so much work and so well. Especially like Jess and Britt, who are just there to make sure that everything goes as smoothly as it can and everybody gets, you know, the memo about what we're doing and that the call sheet is out, and you know, like all of those little things that come together to make, you know, one big film. They've really been on top of just making sure everyone is in sync. But again, so has everybody, honestly. So has everybody. And it's to the point where besides Jess and Britt, I don't even want to name drop or say anybody's name because I'm so afraid that I'll leave out even just one person. And it really takes a village. Like every single person is just really, really that's involved in this is just really just so talented and so dedicated. And, I couldn't be more grateful. So out of fear of forgetting to name at least one, even just one person, I'm not going to say anyone's name. I'd rather say nothing than forget. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, safe bet for sure. So, I mean, how did you get this cast together? Because I know you have some recognizable, faces
Yeah.
in this short. So, how did all this come about, man?
Oh gosh. Let's see. We have my best friend Christiana. She is I don't even know how to put it into words. She is one of the most talented actresses I've ever known. She's fantastic and she's also really, really a sweet person.
Mhm.
And I kind of wrote the character. So one of the main characters in Pretty Face is Faye. And I kind of wrote this character after Christiana, like there are a lot of similarities there because I just figured if I've fallen so in love with who Christiana is as a person in real life, like how would the audience not fall in love with somebody like that on the screen? And I think her energy translates really well onto the screen. So Christiana actually has been involved in this since I was 19 and I was doing it. Like when I was in college, she was the same character in like the feature length college, like the college cut um, of Pretty Face, and she's just stuck with me through it this whole time and just been really, really awesome. So it really wasn't a question if we were going to bring her back on. Like I literally said to her, I said, if you ever called me and were like, I'm not ever going to do any acting anymore, I would probably have to rewrite the whole character because I don't see anybody else as Faye. Yeah, I mean, it would be like Jamie Lee Curtis saying, "I quit halfway through Halloween." Like, who's Laurie Strode?
That's true.
Um, so yeah, I mean, and Christiana's she's done like a lot of theater and stuff, and she's just really, really talented, and she's just got like a great look and just a great vibe and a great personality, and I knew like this is what I want going in. I knew that was what I wanted, in a character was her. So we also have the two Mike and Eric, who we lovingly refer to as the boys. If you saw one of the most recent posts, those are two really fun characters. I tend to write a lot of my characters after like my friends who I know are going to play them. If you're an actor that I know is gonna play somebody, or I at least feel like it, especially if we're friends. Like not that I don't like to give people challenges, because at the end of the day, like it's acting and you don't have to be exactly who you're playing. But I there are a lot of people that I love, and I'm just like, wow, I love you. Like it would be great if you could just be on the screen. People would love you because I love you. So there's Mike and Eric, who I've actually also been friends with for a while, and they're absolutely fantastic and they have great chemistry. So there's them. And then as far as the detectives, one of the detectives was another one who has been with me since like the college cut. So I just brought him on because I loved his energy in that. And another one of detectives is my cousin's girlfriend, actually, who is an actress. Her name's Mary Grace. She's going to be playing one of the detectives. We already shot one of her scenes this weekend. Super talented, super natural. Her chemistry with my lead actress was amazing. So there was that. And then we also have, obviously, Lauren Marie Taylor from Friday the 13th Part 2. I cannot say enough good about Lauren Marie. She's so fantastic and so sweet and so talented. I've literally loved her since Friday the 13th Part 2 when I was like 12 and I saw it. I was like, I was so sad when she got killed in that movie. She was one of my favorite characters. She just has this way about her. She's so friendly and so likable, and in on screen and in real life, and when you see the character get killed, I just really felt that. And I met her at a convention, I think it was like 3 years ago, and I just told her about how much I loved her character and her as an actress, and I loved her work, and we just started talking, and we stayed in touch and became close. And then one thing led to another. And I had told her about Pretty Face a while ago. And I think it was, oh my God, it was like maybe February, I want to say, maybe even March, that I saw her at a convention and I said, hey, so Pretty Face is happening. We're doing a short film. We're doing, we're doing an Indiegogo. We're really going to like launch it this time and we're going to make it happen. And, I gave her the rundown. I was like, I had you in mind for a part. And before I could even finish saying, how would you like to, she was like, hell yeah, like totally. I would love to. It would be, it would be awesome. And I was like, great, I'll give you a call. And then, we discussed, her character and just Pretty Face. And, one thing led to the other. And then she was on my set. And 12-year-old me was dying inside because one of my favorite 80s slasher characters / actresses / kills of all time ever is now in my film. And she was just so great. And, she really showed up and showed out. She was so professional and so kind and just so awesome and so ready to go. I mean, there was this one point at the end of the night where it was getting towards the end of the night and we still had one scene left to film after the scene we were currently shooting. And we were like, which welcome to film world. We were like 2 hours past what we thought we were going to be. And I was like, I went up to her and she was on my couch and, she was running lines with the lead actress. And I said, Lauren, I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize how late we were going to go. Is it okay with you? Like, can we still get this last scene in? I know it was kind of a bonus scene, but would it be okay with you? She goes, okay with me. I've been waiting for this. We better do it. And it was awesome. Like she was ready to go. Just really, really cool.
Man,
So
it just speaks to, I have to give you credit. Like, I know, and, a director and a great friend to people, you want to give the credit because, you're right. It does take a village. However, man, like you pulled all these people together and everybody can, feed off your energy. And from, it sounds like you have great on your hands, man, that people really want to gravitate to and people are going to love. So, I mean, kudos to you and your vision because, I mean, this sounds like it may be the next biggest thing, and especially if it's something that people can learn to love and is going to pull them back into like that 80s vibe how you were mentioning. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No,
want to let you know, man, kudos to you. I mean, that is very major, and a lot of people aren't doing what you're doing right now, especially with a short film. So congrats, man, that's awesome.
No, listen, I really appreciate that. And listen, I haven't shut up for the past half hour. So by all means, I welcome your commentary and your, anything you have to say. I really appreciate that. And again, I can't take all the credit or even most of it. Because it's like you get this one person that wants to be involved, right? And then, well, this person's like, well, hey, I have this person. And then that person that they have is like, I have this person. And it's so many people that are like, hey, I got this, I could do this. And then I know this person and they can help you with this. Like, it's so many people that are responsible for this. And I have to say, like, I really am so blessed with the friends and the crew and the coworkers that I've been able to surround myself with. It really is amazing. And I like have to pinch myself every day. And seriously, thank you for your kind words. I really appreciate that. It's literally why I do what I do. It's the reason, like the way that all of these films have made me feel and have brought my friends and I together, the way that I feel when I'm at like Monster Mania Con and I'm dressed up as whatever character and I'm just having the best time with all of my fellow genre freaks, the way that I felt when I was on set doing Terrifier 2, like hooked up with a blood gag, like walking around on set drenched in fake blood for days. The way that I felt when I was at the premiere of Terrifier 2, like watching it on the big screen come to life with everybody who'd worked so tirelessly on it. That's why I do that, because that feeling is really just such a magical feeling. So, I really am grateful for, the opportunity and to have so many people who believe in me. And, I'd been hesitant about doing it as a short, but then I said, you know what, this is what we're going to do, because it's not like people have to commit to sitting down for an hour and a half. They're going to say, oh, it's a short. Let me see what it's like. And, then hopefully the short will make them say, all right, I want to sit down for that hour and a half now, which I think it will. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, even from the sounds of it and from, Britt, she hasn't gave me like any like crazy details or anything like that. She's just, very excited about it too. So like when I excited about something, I get excited because I'm like, okay, now they've
Yeah.
worked on
I don't even, I appreciate it so much. Like, you don't even know, like, for you to be sitting here telling me like how excited you are for it, you know, and you haven't even really seen anything. So just going off of what you're hearing and just believing in me, I appreciate that so much, for real. So thank you.
Oh yeah, of course, man. And that's the one thing I do love about, the horror community itself is that you can connect with people and, and everybody kind of embrace each other for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So like just people supporting you, and then I see people supporting you, and it's like, okay, now I want to know what this is because he has people supporting them. And like
Yeah,
that's how, that's kind of how like Terrifier did, you
absolutely.
so that's what I'm saying, man. Like you definitely have something great on your hands, and I cannot wait for this, man. Seriously.
No, I really appreciate it. And again, just knowing what Britt has to say about it, and it shows because again, Britt has been so like since day one, Britt and Jess have really just been like, we believe in Pretty Face, like this is happening. And it's the support's really like the fact that the Britt Godish it is so heavily involved with Pretty Face and believes in it so much, and is like, I just feel so blessed, her and Jess and everybody else. Again, everybody. I'm not naming names because if I forget even one little person, it's like I could never forgive myself. So everybody, if you're listening to this and you think this might be about you, it is. Everybody that's been involved with this and has been physically on set, has contributed, has shared, has just told me they believe in it. It really means the world. And I'm just grateful. All I can say is I'm grateful, and I can't wait to share Pretty Face with the world. I cannot wait for everyone to fall in love with this guy.
Now, are those masks available, or is that just for your short film?
Well, not yet. No, this is just for the short film. I didn't make the mold. Like, I didn't go and get like latex and make a freaking mold. That's crazy. But I kind of pulled a John Carpenter, because he went to, he went and got a Captain Kirk mask and cut the eye holes and spray painted it and messed with the hair and the whole nine. Actually went to Party City and I saw this really creepy mask. The original Pretty Face mask was actually a transparent, like plastic, Pretty Face type mask, but it was, you could see it, and it was there was no hair, and it didn't cover the whole head. It was only a mask. So it was too obvious as to who the killer was, when we initially. So I went to Party City and I saw this mask and I was like, oh, this is freaking creepy. This is cool. But I don't want it to look like, this mask. I want it to be its own thing. So I went home and I cut the hair and I put some gel in it, and I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought a bunch of makeup, and I just put a bunch of makeup on it and lashes. And now we have this handsome son of a bitch right here.
Nice. Now, is that because I know I looked at some of the purchases you have on your Indiegogo. Now, is that going to be like a perk or something that's going to be available where somebody can get the Screen Use mask, or is that something you're just going to hold on to?
No, I will be buried with this mask when I die.
For sure. No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
It's my baby. I can't let it go.
For sure. No, so now, is there anything else you want to talk about with Pretty Face before I start with the Terrifier questions?
Oh gosh. Well, let's see. We kind of delved into what it was about. No, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much Pretty Face. He's his own thing. I think he's awesome, and I think people are gonna love him. And again, guys, just stay tuned for all of it. We have amazingly talented people here, and oh, look at Pennywise. He's creepy in the background.
Sorry.
What'd you say?
I said, sorry, my bad. Let me get this reconnected. No, you're good. You can keep going.
No, that's okay. But yeah, no, I can't wait to share Pretty Face with the world. Honestly, I have to wake up and like pinch myself every day to even believe that this is all really happening in the way that it is, but it is. And I'm really just excited about it and more than beyond grateful for the support.
Man, again, cannot wait for this. I know I did like the special things, man. wanted to give more so bad because, like, I mean, I wanted to actually be in the film because this is something I've never worked with you or Britt before. So I was like, oh God, I got to do this. But with all these conventions I have planned,
No,
man, I just couldn't
listen,
do.
any support at all, I 100% appreciate. So thank you first off for even thinking of that. That's really fantastic. But listen, you are a busy guy as well. You're doing conventions and films and just the whole nine. So it's great to see you killing it as well. You know, that's what it's all about, is finding this thing that you love and saying, how can I get myself into the world of this and do this as much as possible? And you've been doing just that. So kudos to you as well.
For sure. No, I appreciate it, man. It's all fun. You know, at the end of the day, for me, I'm just having a great time doing it. But I mean, for you though, I mean, so you also do, you know, horror conventions. I kind of creeped on your Instagram a little bit, you know, just kind of. But you're very big into crossplay. So, like, what's some of the best crossplays that you've done?
Gosh. Yeah, I do love conventions. I think I went to Monster Mania Con this past March at what was it, Cherry Hill, I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, I went as myself from Terrifier 2, and it was probably my favorite to date, besides Michael Myers, because I love doing Michael Myers. But it was probably my favorite cosplay that I've done to date. I mean, I had people coming up to me, like, asking me to sign their posters and stuff and take pictures. And I was like, this is weird. But it was a really good kind of weird. Like, it was cool. I was like, hell yeah. Like, it was so much fun. And you know, people like recognizing me from the film and like being, you know, like happy to meet me and talk to me and ask me about it was really, really cool. You know, I feel really connected to everybody in the horror community. Like, I mean, and you can ask anybody that I know or have met. If somebody that I meet is like, oh, I love horror, I'm like, oh my God, we're friends. That's it. So that was really cool. I would definitely say Monster Mania Con is one of the best weekends I've like ever had ever. And my Clown Cafe Kid #4 cosplay was probably one of my favorites. I've also done a few other conventions. I did Michael Myers from Halloween 2. Halloween 2 is, again, one of my favorite films of all time. Me and Britt really bonded over that, being one of our favorites. I think it's terrifying. The hospital is really scary. And I did Halloween 2, Michael, and I had the bullet holes and like the scalpel and everything to this convention, New Jersey HorrorCon, like 3 or 4 years ago. And there was another Halloween 2 Michael Myers there. And he had this like replica independent, like straight off the silver screen mask. And I just looked at him and I said, fuck, there is no way I'm beating him in this cosplay contest. So we got on stage and he just did like the head tilt. And then, you know, he walked off and I said, I'm literally like the Walmart version of this fucking guy. Like, how am I going to compete with that? So I up and I cocked my head back twice, like really fast, as if I had gotten like shot in the eyes. And I went like that. And I just started like swinging the scalpel around, like at the end of Halloween 2. And the crowd was wild. I don't know why. I guess they all just love that scene. And I won the cosplay contest. So that's one of my favorite stories from conventions to tell.
Nice, man. That's awesome. I wish I had, you know, the cojones to actually cosplay, but I don't. I want to one of these days when I feel more comfortable.
Oh, do it. You could so do it.
I could, like, so Blade is like my favorite like vampire movie. I love Wesley Snipes, but so like trying to get all that, like, first of all, I got a dad bod now, so like the whole leather, that's not my thing. But no, man. So, but speaking of Terrifier though, like, how do you feel about being a part of a movie that like literally shocked the world? Like, this movie was, was everything that people were raving about.
Yeah, I mean, I can't put it into words. Terrifier 2, again, like I credit Terrifier 2 and this Terrifier craziness to so much of what's happening right now. Again, I literally met Britt because of Terrifier 2 and so many of my other good friends. First of all, the success that this film has come across is so well deserved. Damien is one of, and anybody will tell you, and I'm sure you know because you've met him, Damien is one of the kindest, most like genuine, deserving humans that I've ever met. And even just being on set with him, like, it so shows. Like, we really were all in the trenches together. filming. I don't want to say in the trenches as in it wasn't a good experience. Like, it was a great experience, but I mean, in the sense, like, if everyone else is freezing to get this scene or tired or on the floor or whatever, like, Damien is freezing and tired on the floor right with us. It's not like we're all outside in 30 degrees and he's like in a heated trailer. Like, he's right there with us, putting the finishing touches on stuff, saying, go guys, I got this. Like, he's just so hardworking and does literally everything until whatever time that it takes for it to be done. And I mean, to know him and then see all the success that he's come across with this just makes me happy, because I know that a really good, deserving person is the one who's come across, that kind of success. And it's really, really awesome. I cannot say enough about how professional and hardworking and just genuinely awesome as a person that Damien is. And that really goes for everybody involved with Terrifier, Terrifier 2, like, really, really great people. I really am a believer in you get what you put in and what you deserve. And I really think everything that's happened with Terrifier 2 is truly, the universe saying, wow, look, you guys are awesome. Here, I'm going to you deserve this, guys. I mean, they took it, all the hard work, like, it's not like anything was just given to them, but I really believe the universe was like, all right, y'all have been literally killing it. Here you go. Like, this is, here, like, the success you deserve. Here you, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to be involved and to be a part of something like that, because by chance, somebody that I met at a restaurant was like, oh, have you heard of Terrifier? I die in it. It's like, what? And now, how many years later, I'm like, have you heard of Terrifier 2? I die in it. So I just think it's so funny how, like, things come full circle. And really, really just I can't say enough good things about having been involved with this film, and just everybody that that is in it as well. Great deserving people. And yeah.
See, and I think, that's kind of one of my biggest things since I've started this whole YouTube channel. It's like, I searched out to, talk to, graphic designers or people more or less behind the scenes, like talking to stars and all that stuff. Like, that's cool, but everybody's doing that. Nobody's talking to, the extras on set, or the makeup artist, or the hairstyle, all that. And so that's been my main focus, especially covering, Terrifier 2, is like, I want to talk to the people who, maybe had a 2-minute clip, but that 2-minute clip is what you did, and people know you and people gravitate to you because you brought something, to this movie or to this film that people love. Like, even though, like, you have no actual name in the film, people know who you are and they want your autograph and they want to see you because of the movie itself. Like,
which is insane.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But how I think about it, and maybe it's because I've been drinking a little bit, so excuse me, but like, how I think about it is like, if it was not you who died in that swing, if it was somebody else, maybe it wouldn't be as compelling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everything was like like put out to how it should be. You know what I'm saying? Without ramble too much.
I agree. I mean, oh my God, it was nerve-wracking because, and it was one of the coolest times of my life, but it was nerve-wracking because I've never done that before. I've never been shot on film, and it was kind of a one-take kind of deal because we couldn't mess a million, like, I didn't know how many shirts. I think that was like the only shirt of that color that we had, so we couldn't just get me in another shirt. So I was like, oh, if I fuck this up, I fuck this up. So I went up to Damien, and Damien also has he trusts people. He trusts his actors, and I think that's important. You have to kind of trust your people to know what works best. Like, as far as my team with PrettyFace, they're like, hey, listen, we think this might look better or this might be better. And I'm like, well, this is why you're the director of photography and not me, because it's probably going to look better if you say it is. So do that, do it. And I'm like, you're a genius. So there's that, right? So I went up to Damien and I had said to him, I was like, what do you, like, how I'm going to get shot, but like, he was like, literally just do it. Don't think about it. And that's what pretty much everyone had said. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to do it. And then I said, so, could I like and I didn't know how particular he was, because he could have been like a Stanley Kubrick and been like, no, you have to blink 33 times in this take and then cock your head to the right. Like, but you know, he wasn't. He's so cool and he's so like, yeah, I think it works. So I was like, I kind of want to like fling the apple and just, you know, spit up a bunch of blood, because initially there was no blood in my mouth. And he was like, yeah, that should be cool. Do it. And I was like, all right, awesome. So, you know, I'm sitting in the swing with, you know, like all of these tubes hooked up to me and everybody's ready to go. There are like a bunch of people off screen that you don't see, obviously, with like tubes, like ready to blow the blood out. And there's like a glass in front of the camera so it doesn't get soaked in fake blood. And you know, Mike Levy is behind the scenes being like the best AD ever. And he's like, all right, guys, Francesco, when we say boom, you're just going to get shot. And all right, guys, everybody else, everyone is dying around you. You're scared. Let's go. And you know, they said action and blah, 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 and I was like, I just did it. And it just, everyone was like clapping and cheering and like, oh my God, that was awesome. And then Damien came up to me and was like, I don't even think I'm going to have to cut away from that at all. That was such a good take. And I was like, so, I mean, it was like a one-time thing that I just got lucky and nailed, and it was awesome. It was one of the coolest experiences in my life. I mean, it's to the point where like, if I'm having a bad day, like, you know, because we all have bad days, obviously, right? We all have, you know, whether my anxiety is like, hey, pal, or like just I'm having an inconvenient, whatever, like for any reason, having a bad day. I literally am to the point where I just remind myself, sir, you literally died in an iconic slasher film that ripped through theaters for a month, that like Stephen King saw you die. And I'm like, all right, this day is not that bad. Life's not that bad. So
There's millions of people worldwide. Like, I don't like, for me, it is like, I'm so happy for other people's success. Like, I love it. And
yeah.
It's just because, like, you know, millions of people love this franchise across all these countries, and are responsible for that as well. As long as with David and all those guys as well, like, you know, you're important to the franchise as well, man. So that's amazing, you know. So that's beautiful, man. And I love the Clown Cafe scene. Is probably one of my best scenes. Like, I'm actually,
thank you.
I know Davis is like my brother, more or less, and he plays the abracadabra, the costume clerk.
Yeah. So, oh, he's great. He's so sweet. I love him. I met him at a con like a couple months ago, and I was like, hey, we both got killed by the same psycho clown, and he was really, really cool. I have his autograph somewhere in my room. I got to put it up.
Yeah. Was it in New Jersey? The New Jersey one?
Yes.
Yeah, he was up there for a little bit. But yeah, like, everybody I've met associated with this film, man, you guys have been so like open, so lovely, you know, like, you guys have been like actual human beings. And again, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I can talk a lot too.
Oh my God, geez, I'm chilling. I am chilling like a villain. I'm good for now.
For sure. And like, you know, nobody has this ego about them, you know, like, all you guys are really down to earth.
Yeah.
And humbled people, man. And I don't know, it just really takes me away, because like, you know, you have like other franchises like, you know, Halloween. I love Halloween, don't get me wrong. I got a life-size Michael over there across the room. But you know, those people you can't necessarily just message and be like, hey, you know, won't you come on a podcast? And they're gonna be like, oh no, you got to go through my agent, all this. But you guys have been so open and inviting, man. So that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, Terrifier is also still really new, you know, and it's crazy to me. Like, I mean, everybody, you know, this is only like the tip of the iceberg, you know, and to see how well this is done and how big this has gone only thus far, and like it's still gonna get even bigger. That's crazy to me. Like, now it's like, all right, Terrifier 3 is gonna have a theatrical release, you know, like the fall of, I think they said 2024, with a bigger button. It's like, yes, well deserved. Yes. And listen, like, I mean, there's no reason for anybody not to be, you know, cool like that, because at the end of the day, like, anybody that comes across that kind of success needs to know, like, you're just lucky and talented, you know, because there are so many talented people out there that don't get to have their work see the light of day for whatever reason, you know, and I think that's really important to keep in mind. And everybody does a really good job of just staying, you know, staying down on planet Earth while taking the viewers into fantasy land with the things we create. I think it's really important to just stay on planet Earth and remember that, like, none of this would be a thing without horror fans and people who support us and love us. But you're really right. I mean, I have not met one person from Terrifier that isn't the most humble, down to earth, kind. Like, everybody is just really nice and really happy to be here. And it really is a beautiful thing. And it's mostly because, like, we're fans ourselves. Like, we're people that would see one of our favorite slashers or actors in the street and be like, oh my God, like, this movie changed my life. Like, we are those people. We are everybody. We are horror fans. I like most of the Terrifier people are horror fans. Like, a couple of them like aren't. But I can't even think off the top of my head. You know, and nonetheless, like, all nice people either way. So, like, we're all fans of something that made a difference, that changed our life. So, you know, that's it. Just things come full circle, you know.
For sure, man. A beautiful thing, a beautiful thing. So in closing, anything you want to say to, you know, Pretty Face fans out there and all that good stuff? What can we look forward to?
Oh, you just said Pretty Face fans. That felt so nice. Oh gosh. Guys, just stay tuned. And again, if you love slasher films and you loved the horror movies of the 80s and all of those retro type movies and even just slasher films in general, and if you love 80s music, I promise you, you are going to love Pretty Face. You're going to love this guy. So, please just keep following Pretty Face, PrettyFaceslasher on Instagram, PrettyFaceslasher on Facebook. The Indiegogo campaign is up until the end of this month. So please go check it out. If you can't donate, just share, tell people about it, because that makes so much of a difference in itself. Just keep following Pretty Face and you know, just keep telling people about it, because again, word of mouth publicity, that is so vital in getting a film out there. Social media is like one of the greatest tools that, if you use it the right way, it really makes such a difference. So just stay tuned for all of the spookies. And I want to say around Halloween season, you know, a little before even, maybe, Pretty Face will be here to terrorize you guys. And thank you so much for the support and just being so amazing and believing in my vision and appreciating my being a sick fuck and wanting to scare everybody.
For sure, man. And I can't wait. Hopefully we get it this year, but if not, I don't think we're going to be disappointed, because we definitely want the best. And I think you're definitely going to deliver that with the team you have, man. So, but your social media handles, where can people go look up you and interact with you?
Yes. So my social media. So again, like, the Pretty Face page is PrettyFaceslasher, but then my personal is Francesco_PrettyFace. Shocker, I know. And my Facebook, just my name, Francesco DePinto. And I don't have Twitter because I had it once years ago, and the notifications kept waking me up at 3 a.m. to tell me that some random person tweeted some other random person that I didn't know or care about. So fuck you, Twitter. But Instagram and Facebook, I'm there.
For sure, man. No, it's been a true pleasure. You've been a delight. Definitely look forward to following the journey on this. And, you know, I'll definitely stay in touch. I try not to be annoying and, you know, text too much, but like, I definitely want to, you know, stay in the loop of what you have coming up, man. I'm very excited for you. You know, I just want so much success for you and Britt and, you know, everybody with this project, man. So that's all I got for today. Anything?
Say that again.
I said that's pretty much all I have for today's video. This will be up here shortly, hopefully today or maybe early tomorrow. So if you want to check it out, you can. Anything you want to say in closing?
Thank you, guys. Seriously, just thank you guys so much for believing in me. Thank you, Montavious. And again, it's been awesome to see the killing you've been making in the horror community. You know, we're all just here to change the game and to scare people and to entertain people and, you know, to make people feel how we felt when we watched our favorite movies growing up. And you know, I really just hope to do that with PrettyFace. Thank you, Jess and Britt, for believing in me and being amazing and helping me get this amazing team together. Thank you to my PrettyFace team for being absolutely incredible. I can't put it into words, the gratitude that I have and how lucky I feel to know all of you guys and be able to work with you. Thank you, Montavious, for having me on. Everybody, please watch The Empty Crypt, follow The Empty Crypt, share The Empty Crypt, and yeah, I can't wait to scare you guys.
All right. Appreciate it, man. You have a great day, man, and we'll catch you later.
You as well. Thanks so much and take care.
You as well.